So, welcome. This is another one of our interviews with our grantees in our Meet the Grantee series. Today, we're talking to the Executive Director of Silver Linings Mentoring, Barbara Best. And Barbara, it's so wonderful to have you with us. We've enjoyed the relationship over the last few years. You've been very helpful in helping us understand the foster care system and how it works. And so I was wondering if you could tell us about the mission of Silver Lining Mentoring and the kinds of work you do.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. And we're so grateful to Old South community for your generous support and partnership and spirit of collaboration over the years in serving as strong allies for young people impacted by foster care. So Silver Lining Mentoring is the only mentoring organization in Massachusetts and one of the few in the United States focused specifically on young people impacted by foster care. And our mission is to empower young people impacted by foster care to thrive through caring, committed, stable mentoring relationships. And that's the heart of what we do, is that we build connection and belonging and powerful relationships between mentees, young people, and mentors. And the need is urgent. There's more than 10,000 young people in foster care in Massachusetts, 2,000 in Greater Boston. Young people in foster care, they come into foster care because the abuse has been so severe that someone has called the Department of Children and Families, and often young people are taken from their homes or from school, sometimes in the middle of the night at home, and they're given a trash bag and they have to gather all of what little belongings they have, and they're taken by a police officer and a social worker to go and live with strangers. And it's very, very traumatic. And the other thing about young people in foster care is they move a lot. The first ever report from the Department of Children and Families in Massachusetts found that young people in foster care in Massachusetts are moved at a rate that is double the national standard. And that's 8 moves every 3 years. 8 moves every 3 years. So I want you to imagine that. That's 8 schools, 8 peer groups, 8 caregivers, 8 different placements. That's a lot of uprooting of relationships over and over and again, giving young people little reason to trust. And that's where Silver Lining Mentoring comes in. We put one volunteer adult mentor into the life of one young person. And the heart of our work is to build those stable adult, stable caring relationships. And it works. Our young people in our program are twice as likely to graduate from high school as young people in foster care. They are 3 times as likely to be employed. They are 7 times as likely to go to college as young people in foster care. And our match rate is 6 times the national average. We've got a 5-year match rate. So it works, and it's something we're growing in Massachusetts and also nationally with the Silver Lining Institute.
No, that's amazing. I can only imagine that the pandemic has had something of an impact on this work. Could you describe how you've adapted and how it's affected the work that you do?
Thank you. Well, young people in foster care are most at risk. I mean, this is a population with a 3% college matriculation rate. It's a population that has been described as the most vulnerable population in America. And they have been hardest hit by COVID-19. Recent data show that in group homes, young people in group homes, there's an 8% COVID-19 infection rate compared to 0.4% of the youth population in the Massachusetts, in the state of Massachusetts. And so you see the disproportionate impact of young people in foster care, and they cannot leave the premises. They cannot have visitors. They have little access to technology in many cases, like 12 young people to 1 computer. And so even the schooling that is online, how do you have access to schooling if you can't get a computer? So there's a lot of obstacles, but I'm reminded that sometimes in life you hit a brick wall and that's when you got to get creative. You have to find a way through. You have to find a way to connect. And that's what I've seen in this amazing community, using digital platforms to reach into group homes, even on phones. Our mentors and mentees are connecting. We pivoted midstream in March to offer our Learn and Earn program, which is a 12-week course on financial literacy and goal setting. to deliver those into group homes. And that's really powerful with mentors and mentees meeting one-on-one in breakout rooms to do goal setting work. Where do you want to be 2, 3, 5 years from now? And how can we help you get there? And I was at the graduation ceremony and it was so powerful. And we were reminded of Dr. King's words, you know, if you can't fly, then run. And if you can't run, then walk. And if you can't walk, then crawl, but do something and keep dreaming. And that's what I've seen in our amazing young people and our mentors, that they continue to hold on to hopes and dreams. They continue to push forward despite obstacles. And that's something that really inspires me every day.
That's great. Thank you, Barbara. Finally, one of the things that we try to do is provide our community at large, the Old South community at large, with opportunities to engage with our grantees. So could you describe some of the ways that our community at large might be able to engage with Silver Lining Mentoring?
Thank you. Well, we're always looking for mentors. We have been really resourceful. We put the whole mentor training online, and so people can look more at the Silver Lining Mentoring website if they want to sign up to be mentors. We're also looking at other ways to build connection, like shorter term engagements for people who perhaps cannot make the commitment of being mentors. And so for example, if a young person wants to be an entrepreneur, wants to build their own business, if they're entrepreneurs in the community, we'd love to connect them for some skill building and like on the spot coaching. So there's a lot of ways to give. There's certainly financial support always means a lot to us. Becoming foster parents, if someone can make that commitment, is hugely important. There are a lot of young people who don't have safe homes to live in. And so becoming a foster parent, becoming a mentor, being willing to coach and mentor a young person at a shorter term engagement, and also just building awareness. What I find is people don't know about this. And when they find out, they want to help. And our young people are amazing. They are so courageous and so resilient. And I am reminded that the smallest kind gesture can change someone's life. And every day I just see the power of being there and listening and telling someone that they're talented and they've got amazing gifts to share with the world. And so we'd love for more members of Old South Community. Old South Community has been so supportive, but even more allies for young people in foster care to just be there, to speak out, to raise awareness, to let people know. Did you know that young people in foster care that have an 8% COVID infection rate compared to 0.4% of the general youth population? Just raising awareness about that so that we can all be better allies.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm sure that our community will find this revelatory, as well as a place where they would like to spend some of their energy. And I really appreciate your taking the time out of what I know is a very busy day, at the end of a very busy week. And just know that the Old South community stands with you and behind you and wishes you all the best in the work that you do. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we feel that support and we're so grateful for your unwavering commitment to young people in foster care. It makes such a difference.